L'Shem Hashem Na'aseh V'Natzliach. Pirkay Avot has such a dear spot in my heart, and we haven't done it in the last month, so it's so important we do a short idea. Today, this week, this Shabbat, we're going to read the 4th chapter, believe it or not. It's already a month. As tonight is Lag BaOmer, and the 4th parak starts with Ezehu Chacham Halomed Mikol Ha'adam. Ben Zoma teaches us who's a truly wise person. One that learns from everybody. We learned this from King David in Tehillim 119. Mikol Melamdai Hiskalti. I became wise from all my teachers. So there's such a glorious and beautiful Rabbeinu Yonah. He brings a saying from the great scholars in Spain. And they said, somebody that knows all science and knowledge but doesn't love wisdom is a fool and cannot be considered wise. Because he doesn't love wisdom, which is the most greatest thing one could acquire. You know, easy come, easy go. One can, God forbid, lose all his wealth and prestige in a second, but it's the wisdom that's inside of you and nobody could take away from you. But on the other hand, somebody that loves wisdom is always yearning and thirsty for more and more wisdom, even if right now he doesn't know nothing. But since he has the most vital key, that he has that inner fire and inner love to learn, he's already considered a chacham. And that's what the Mishnah is teaching us, that this love of learning is more important than the final product of learning itself, because and Rabbeinu Yonah says that there's a second benefit to this, and that is that the true wisdom can only be based on fear of heaven. And that's why it says, King Solomon teaches us, if you go after the knowledge of Torah like you go after gold, silver, and stocks and real estate, which is in the next world, it's just like toys, it's worthless, then you're going to understand true knowledge of God. So he says that really stuff that we don't take with us a penny, we don't even take our own socks with us to the next world, money and fame and all these indulgences we run after. But that's the wrong approach. The true approach is that once you understand that the knowledge to know God is the ultimate reason why we're created, that's what you should be so thirsty and restless and always jump to learn more and more. And that's the key to the secret to success of becoming a true Talmid Chacham. And I saw something so beautiful on the same idea from Rab Moshe Feinstein. He says that some people think that it's only worthwhile to learn from the Gadol Hador. If the guy's not like as great as Rav Ovadia Yosef or a great the greatest Rosh Yeshiva, then unfortunately some Yeshiva Bachrim and Talmidei Chachamim say, why should I even listen to this guy? He's not a Gadol Hador. That's what Moshe is saying, that's a wrong approach. Because first of all, you don't have the opportunity to be by the Gadol Hador so much. Secondly, you may not understand what the Gadol Hador is completely saying, and he doesn't have time to explain every single part of his approach to the Gemara or to the Halacha, because millions of people come with him with millions of different questions. So what it's trying to say is that Rav Moshe Feinstein is saying that you should be humble and realize that as long as any Talmid Chacham knows more than you, then you should give him the most respect. Even if he knows one thing more than you, it's worth it for him to learn. It's worth it for you to learn from him. He doesn't need to be the Gadol Hador. And this really could be maybe the mistake I was thinking of the students of Rabbi Akiva, that they thought, oh, Rabbi Akiva, Kabbalistically, Rabbi Akiva was like the equivalent of Moshe Rabbeinu. What Moshe Rabbeinu was to the written Torah, Rabbi Akiva also got to the 50 gates of wisdom and he was like the Moshe Rabbeinu of the oral Torah. But that's wrong, because the Maharal explains that based on the idea that it says, I learned a lot from my Rebbeim, from my teachers. I learned more from my Chavruta, from my friends, and from my students I learned the most. But since, practically speaking, you're much, much, much more time you're together with your friends, in a way your friends also are your rabbi, because you're exposed to them more and you learn more from them, just because time-wise you're with your Chavruta, study partner, much, much more practically speaking than your Rebbe. And it could be that the students of Rabbi Akiva didn't realize this idea that, listen, sometimes I know more than my friend, my Chavrusa study partner. A lot of times my friend knows more than me. And I'm learning from him, and I should appreciate him and acknowledge that. Not that I should just say, oh, whatever my friend tells me is, God forbid, worthless. And only if I hear it from my Rebbe, Rabbi Akiva, then I'm going to accept that as the truth. That's not good. That's like my Rosh Yeshiva Zatzal Rav Weinberg said, a person should be Shomeya. A lot of times even a little kid could be saying the truth. The Rambam says we should accept the truth from whoever says it. And sometimes somebody that's dozens upon dozens of years younger than us, we can learn the truth from him. So that's the idea, that anybody that is speaking the truth, anybody that's even not the Gadol Hador, not the chief rabbi, they may have a world of knowledge, and we should be willing to be open to learning from everybody and anybody that is ethical, good, even though they're not the greatest in the generation. Amen.